not supporting brands who don't support us. 2018. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I just want to talk about something which is so passionate to me, and on the eve of Fashion Week, Fashion Month even, I just think it's really important that I discuss this, get this out there and put it on my channel. It's something that I've briefly spoke about on my Instagram story, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, then make sure you head over there. So my message for brands, future designers, anyone, you should actually you shouldn't need people like me with a big mouth and other influencers and people to tell you how to do your job. You should want to be inclusive, you should want to represent different people, and you should want to make people feel good about themselves. Now this is where I think the problem lies, is brands don't realise how much power and influence that they actually have. The main points which I tried to get across to brands, and they seem to like it if I do say so myself and agree with me, is that they have the power to make people feel good or make people feel bad about themselves. Brands need to, and designers need to realise that by simply putting a plus size model or someone who doesn't stereotypically, someone's body who doesn't stereotypically fit the status quo, by putting them on the runway, a young girl, young boy, or anyone, or an inspiring model, or anyone who's just interested in fashion or is just watching, looks at that and all of a sudden they start to value themselves more highly. They start to realise that they can be innovative and creative and see that they are capable of achieving these things too. It's the same with celebrities. I don't think celebrities realise how much influence and power that they have too. Kim Kardashian and her nude pictures recently, I'm not particularly for them, I'm not particularly against them. I understand that Kim's a businesswoman, but then I also understand the impact that for my USA followers, basically it's like Good Morning Television, and there was a young girl there was a mum on there whose young daughter was caught sending nudes to a boy in her school. I think she was 13, and when she was asked why did she do it and all this, it was because Kim Kardashian does it, and she thought that it was acceptable because that's what she saw Kim Kardashian posting publicly on her Instagram page. Now that's a whole different story, I could make a whole video on that, but I think that celebrities and brands just need to realise how much influence and power they have on the young minds. Now I'm going to delve particularly into the plus size fashion industry. Brands, designers, people, please, plus size women are stylish and sexy and beautiful and want to feel comfortable wearing whatever they want, and they need to know that they can shop at places that are actually wanting to cater for them. Now a lot of UK online cool or like stylish brands like Missguided, Pretty Little Thing, I think that's it actually, just those two that I know of, have recently extended their lines and made plus size lines, and I'm actually going to do a haul of both of those on my channel, so if you haven't watched them, go and watch them already. I'm not sure when this is going to be up, before or after them, but yeah. And I think it's amazing, and I think it's awesome that they're brands that they're typically catered for like the pretty skinny girls. I'm really happy that they have extended their line, and I think it would be great if other brands could follow. Now what I particularly like about what they have done, well, I know Pretty Little Thing has, I'm not too sure about Missguided. What I particularly like that Pretty Little Thing has done is that they've split their category of kind of clothes into straight size, which is the norm, and straight sized, and then plus. And what's so great about the shapewear is that they've extended it so that it starts at a size 6 and goes to a size 20 or 22 I believe, and then you've got the plus range. In my opinion, should do is just extend the range that they already have, so have it say from a size 6 I guess, and then instead of creating a new range when it gets to like a size 16, 18, just extend the range that you already have and make it up to a size 26, or I'm not really sure what kind of the statistics, but make it up to like just maybe more support in the top, but it can still be the same top. Put maybe a bit of extra padding in the top if you think they need it. If you're trying to cater for tall women, just extend the range that you already have, but just make the lengths a little bit longer. Like, I don't know what the obsession with creating categories, creating labels and groups is, obsession we have. I think it's a fault. Well, it's not necessarily a fault, but it's kind of, it's a hindrance and it can be a help, I guess, in the fashion industry. But that is basically what I think designers should do. Yeah. If you Google plus size clothing, what comes up tends to be not really very stylish. It tends to be sort of baggy, it's kind of outdated clothing. But when I look on Fashion Nova in particular, I just want to shout out Fashion Nova. This top's actually from Fashion Nova. I just want to shout Fashion Nova out right now, is that the clothes are sexy and the women and the models on the website are portrayed in a sexy way. And now I know some of the backlash is going to be, well, plus size people want to dress differently, need their own clothes because they have different needs. I completely understand that, but not all plus size women want to cover up their bellies. Some of us are actually proud of our chub, and I follow a lot of plus size influencers that also would comfortably wear crop tops. Not all plus size women want to cover up their bust. Some of us actually like to get our boobs out, believe it or not. Not all plus size clothing has to be baggy, because some of us actually want our ass to be on show. In fact, it's not even a sense that we want our ass to be on show, it's the fact that we're comfortable in our bodies and we want clothing that is flattering and makes us look more curvy. Because I think there's this thing as well where it's like, oh, plus size people don't want clothing that makes them look more curvy, when actually I personally do, which is why I wear Fashion Nova jeans, because I feel like they give you more of that kind of curvy shape type thing, because I don't want baggy clothes to cover it. I want to actually show off what I have, if that makes sense. There's also this kind of myth or idea, I don't know where the hell it stemmed from, that we want to cover up our stretch marks and cellulite. It is literally 2018, okay? Who is out here trying to completely cover up their stretch marks and be ashamed of them? Because I am not. Like, who cares about a bit of cellulite? Okay, it's easy for me to say, but that's because I've gone on like a body confidence journey and I'm confident in the body that I have. But who cares about a bit of cellulite? Like, seriously, like, come on now. Another quick thing I just want to touch on is sample sizing. Now, the root of the problem as to why maybe there's not so many plus size women on the runway, or maybe not so many plus size women in high fashion, is because of sample sizes. Okay, I have been to a London Fashion Week casting, and the guy was from there, the casting director was from Miami, and he was like, I love it, like, I love everything you're about, and he's like, I love the way your body looks and things like that, but you're just not gonna fit into my sample sizing. I was like, so you love me, but just not enough to make clothes for me, okay? But that is honestly where the root lies. The sample sizing that they will use, for people who don't know about sample sizing, the sample size is basically the clothing that they make as like a one-off, or like as a practice of what they're gonna show on the runway. And they usually make the sample size, which is the one they're gonna use on the runway, very small. I'm guessing for smaller brands it's probably because it's more cost effective, I guess, I don't know. But they usually make it very small, and then that obviously means that they have to cast a small model, because a plus size model is not going to fit into it. And that's not just where the problem stops. I know straight size models who themselves can't fit into sample sizing. That's how ridiculously small they make it. I was speaking to a stylist the other week, and I'm not gonna say what organisation he works for, obviously, but he works for a high fashion, I think he was working with a Victoria's Secret model, I'm not sure. I'm just like telling everyone's business here, but you know, I'm just trying to like prove to you that I'm not just a crazy like feminist. I actually have experienced this. And he was telling me that the arms were so small that they had to try and stretch them out. And this girl was a Victoria's Secret model. Okay, we all know how small Victoria's Secret models have to be. If even she can't fit into it, then how the hell are we supposed to? Now, I hate to be negative, and I want to credit brands, and I recognise that there are brands on their front page. It's pretty clear that they don't care about body shape. They want to be inclusive, and it seems like I've worked with them multiple times, and they always make me feel so comfortable in being me. Well, Now another brand is Aerie, who are pledged to not retouching their models, and I obviously have worked with them. If you haven't seen my vlog, then go and watch it, but I've worked with them a few. I think also Pretty Little Thing released a campaign, and they didn't even, what was so great about the campaign is that they didn't make a huge deal that they were being so inclusive. I think it's great when brands can mix their plus models and their straight size models into one campaign. I think that's really, really important. Again, it's to break the whole labels thing. Pretty Little Thing's most recent campaign, which is all underneath, it's like underneath all the bus shelters and on the underground, and it has Letitia, who I think that's how you say her name, she's a plus size model, and then it has 2 other straight size models, and I believe one is, I think it's Justine Sky, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, just mixing plus size models and curve models to come together in one campaign is so beautiful. And like, it just baffs me that people don't think diversity is beautiful. Now, having one, I think there's a difference between diversity and inclusivity. Now, I think it's really important to remember that there are bodies within plus size bodies. There are shades of black within black skin. There are shades of Asian within Asian skin. And using one token black model or one token plus size model occasionally is not good, quite frankly not good enough, especially within the beauty community and the beauty industry, where plus size women and black women are often excluded from. That is great that brands are trying to change, but it's like, are they making change that is actually sustainable, or are they doing it because it's the most recent trend? Something that I read from Vice, I'm not quite sure who said it, but this is what I read. The bodies I'm seeing touted, wait, I don't know how you said that word, or is it toted, I don't know. The bodies I'm seeing touted by woke advertisements and body positive campaigns tend to show women with larger thighs, fuller figures, bigger butts and wider hips. That's all fine, but until we let the stomach join in on the fun, we have a long way to go when it comes to breaking free from problematic female beauty standards. Now, that basically is everything which I've been just trying to say, is that, you know, there are different types of plus size bodies. We're constantly seeing the same one, which is the hourglass type figure, where they have kind of a medium-sized bust, tiny waist, and then huge bum and hips. Now that, to me, you know, that is beautiful as well to me, you know, and as a plus size model, it's easier to get jobs when you have that type of body. But, you know, there are other body types that are beautiful and deserve representation. Not everyone is going to be naturally blessed or naturally born with an hourglass figure, and there are going to be women and young people watching that don't have that body and need to see a diverse set of bodies. Another thing that I read is from Diana. Her Instagram name was My Name's Diana, and her feature in Nylon magazine, which she said, where's the screenshot? Which said, I feel like I'm a very privileged woman in the sense that I am very light-skinned, I have a looser curl pattern, it's very easy to put me in a campaign and have people be okay with it. It's what's idolised.